Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag.
Welcome everybody to my first class, right? And I'm just letting y'all know if STB has a cookout, I'm popping out like this. You feel me? So yeah, we in here. But shoot, let's get into it. So basically, this class we're gonna go over um really into the mindset of a profitable trader, right? And some of the things that I have, discovered and realized, and I think I have something pretty interesting for y'all. But first, I do want to see how's everybody doing? Did everybody at least get between yesterday and today? Did everybody at least get like one profitable trade in, if not more than one? There's a whole lot of money in this my second trade. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad everybody eating. You feel me? That's a big thing. It's a big deal. And I understand that sometimes it's not easy to catch that profit. And especially like when you're starting out, you see everybody else making money. You like, hold on, whoa. How y'all do that? But I only did this much, or I didn't get to, you know what I'm saying, experience that profit like you did. So it's a lot. Let's get into this little presentation, man. The screen. All right, so today, this little presentation that I kind of, drew up for us all is into the mind of a profitable trader, right? And these are 5 thoughts to your profitable future. It is very, 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 very important that you think and you utilize one of the best gifts that you have is your ability to think in your mind, right? Sometimes people, I need my peace of mind, I need this, I need that. But really, your body has no function without the brain. So let's get into it because it's very important. So the first thing, so mind you, I said there's 5 things that you want to think of, and that goes through the mind of a profitable trader. The first thing is, where are you from, right? I know some people are from different, parts of the country, different parts of the world, right? So in the chat, real quick, just like drop where you're from, right? And I'll tell y'all where I'm from. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. What's 615? I don't know that. It's like now, but I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I was raised in Virginia Beach and Brooklyn, New York. I also lived in New Jersey, and then I bought a house in Raleigh, like in 2020. So yeah, I pretty much was all over the East Coast, the northern part of the East Coast, I should say. But yeah, so that's where I was from. And I guess I could give you a backstory. Uh, one part of, and this actually ties into the next thought that we have. Oh dang, y'all really dropping some places. Jamaica, okay. What else I saw? Baton Rouge, Nashville, Toronto, of course, Val's from Toronto. Canada, New York, Iceland, feel me? Atlanta, Texas. Hey, if you from Houston, you probably not from Houston because you said Texas. If you from Houston, you'd have said Houston, but Houston is crazy. All right, Henderson. I've seen a sign that said Henderson before, but I live in Raleigh as well, Patricia. So if you see me flying down the street, don't stop me. But that's a bet. All right, I'm an hour away. I stay out. Nah, yeah, Houston is actually wild. Like one of my mans, he lived there. He just called me like 15 minutes ago on FaceTime because he's in New York. He was like, he showed me like the train stop where he was at, which is where I used to live. And he's like, hey, look where I'm at, shorty. I'm like, what you doing up there? And then, yeah, anyway, but oh, Savannah, what's that? All right, cool. Oh, what part of New Jersey? I was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Um, so it's like close to Philly, I should say. Yeah. But anyway. All right. Let's get moving on. So think about where you're from, right? Your origin. You always want to reflect on where you started from, even as a trader, even in life. And this ties into, some of the other questions that we have. So this class is more of a thinking, right? It's not me teaching you how to think. It's me showing you that your thinking can really carry you and motivate you to really get this money. Feel me? So 2 questions. Where are you from? You take a second, think about that. Bet. If you watch on the video, hopefully you pause it. Now think about where you're going, right? You have, just like anything, like when you drive your car, you throw the GPS on Apple Maps or whatever you do. Like me, I get in the BMW, I say, hey BMW, take me to such and such. And she be like, okay, let's go. And then like I see where I start from. I have this distance between where I'm starting from and where I'm going. And then from that distance, there's a journey, and then I get to the destination. So once you think about where you're from, where you start, think about where you're going, right? Just like any GPS that you utilize, you'll still have to, at some point in time, you know what I'm saying, revert back to the fact that you started from somewhere. And you always got to remember that, hey, I'm going somewhere, right? Traffic get in the way. So it's traffic. You still got somewhere to go. And we're gonna talk about this as we progress through this lesson. Valid. So hopefully y'all still with me. All right. So the next one, right? This is number 2. What or who do you see? My biggest thing is when I've realized. So I took some trainings with Eric Thomas, and he really put in my head to like focus on like the overall like niche, but zero in on it, but broaden it up while zeroing in on it, right? And then I started like paying attention to only certain people, right? Like Tay Sweat was one of those people that I really only paid attention to, right? So of course you got your social media, you have news, you have gossip, you have just people that be texting your phone. Like me personally, I know I get a lot of messages to my phone, but I choose not to open it, right? That's probably why I got like over 3,000 text messages, right? I just choose not to feed into certain things. So what you do is you follow winners. You pay attention to winners. You learn, what do winners do? And most importantly, you want to set yourself up to become a winner, right? In anything you do. So these are the things that you do and the things that you observe, you know what I'm saying? Because your mind, the way it works is it automatically wants to pick up what it sees, right? Not so much as always what it hears, because that's like, all right. So for my people from Jamaica, right, or anywhere else that's not in America, when you watch Netflix or any TV, I know 9 times out of 10 you use the subtitles, right? The TV could be as loud as it goes, but without the subtitles, it's probably not hitting the way it needs to, right? And I know this for a fact. So your brain picks up, things that it sees better than it will pick up what it hears. So you always need to put in front of you the things that you want to see. I know that so in my route when I go running, there's a house that has this fountain, right? And the fountain changes color. But on the fountain they have like it goes red, yellow, purple, blue, green. It flips through all these colors, right? And I will not run past it. I will not look at that fountain and run past it if it's not on green or it's not on blue, right? My chair behind me, this is a blue chair. So we're gonna do that. All right. So the reason I got this blue chair is because when I trade Forex or I trade futures or the S&P on the Forex side, the positive trades are blue, the losing trades are red, right? So I try to put in front of myself green I put in front of myself, blue, because those are the colors that symbolizes profit for me, right? I have a home pod in here, right? The little Apple home pod thing, and it's blue. All these things are done on purpose, right? When I write on my vision board, I write in blue, what is it? Little blue dry eraser, right? Because I set myself up to see what a winner would see, right? And that's profit. Yeah, you got it. You have to create. If your environment isn't there, it goes back to the origin. If your environment isn't there, you have to create your own environment, right? I remember when. Do I want to tell y'all this? All right, we're gonna go for it. So I remember growing up. I was living in a. It wasn't that great, right? My mom, she was with a man in the military. He was in the military. He became very abusive verbally, physically. He cheated on her, whatever. I stood up to him a couple times, and he knocked me out to the point where like I blacked out, and like I realized why my mother stayed with him. Right, my mother stayed with this man because she had this surgery. The surgery went wrong. They let a student perform the surgery. It was a gastric bypass surgery. That's another reason why you need to take care of your health, right? She had a gastric bypass surgery. And from that, they messed up completely. She had to retire early. When she retired, of course, she wasn't making money. She was getting these like little $100 a month checks. That don't pay nothing. And it was that one time where dude knocked me out. I was begging when I came to, my mom was rocking me and arms like back and forth. It was just like this. Like she was like, "It's okay, baby. Just wake up. Just wake up, baby. It's okay." And I'm like, "Mom, please take me to the hospital, please." And she's like, "I can't. Just don't go to sleep." And she was a nurse. My mother was a nurse. She was like, "Just don't go to sleep." I said, "Mom, please take me to the hospital. I do not feel good." Like, I thought I was gonna die. You feel me? Because he slammed me on my head. And my mother said, "I can't." And when she said, "I can't," I said, "Why?" I asked the question, why? She said, "Because if I take you, he might get in trouble. He might lose his benefits, or he may lose his job." So I realized the strongest woman that I knew in my entire life, the strongest woman I knew, fell victim to one of the most unfortunate circumstances, all because of money. You see what I'm saying? So when I learned that, I said, absolutely not, right? I did whatever I could to, number one, get strong. So I started boxing. That's how I was boxing for 3 different gyms in New York, right? I started to do things that would make money. I got sponsored for BMX when I was in New York. I started modeling. I modeled for like 3 different companies in New York: Under Armour, some weightlifting company, and a military brand, because we lived on an army base. And then I told myself, I said, I can't let this situation be forever. So in my mind, I started creating the environments that I wanted. And I knew that environment was just somewhere where my mother could be happy. And we finally moved. They got a divorce. We moved to Maryland. This was the lowest point of our lives. Like my mother, we had no cable, we had no internet. And mind you, this was like 2000 and like 13, 2012. Like I'm only 27, so this ain't that long ago. You feel me? So we had none of that, right? And it came to a point we were so poor that like we were waiting for food stamps to come in. Food stamps would not come in, on time. And there were times where like I ate bread with mold on it, bro. The most disgusting thing ever. Please do not do it. Don't even try it. Don't try to duplicate these circumstances because that was nasty. It was foul. But I said, bro, I will never do this ever again in my life as long as I have the choice to decide. So I started seeing things different. But let's move forward, right? You have to kind of go into your mind, right? And discover your why. You need to figure out your why, right? Through life, I had, yeah, very spicy. Through life, I mean, I kind of realized my why, right? And your why is your reason for showing up, right? Which will help to influence your reasons for not giving up, right? A lot of people want to show up, like they want to come to these STB classes and they want to just be like, oh, all right, show me the chart. You feel me? Show me the chart so I can, you know what I'm saying, type it low on the computer. Like they said with the kitty cat, I'm gonna type on the computer and pull out $10,000 in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But the day that they go into the market to press those buttons to pull out that $10,000 15 minutes, instead they lose $7,000, right? And it's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. They say, I don't want to do this no more. And that's because their why is not in line, or excuse me, is not aligned within themselves, right? To push them to want to keep going. They just want to do it because they say, oh, I can make quick money, right? That's not a good enough reason to do something. Like that's almost like saying F it. You feel me? That's like saying F it. Ah man. But no, of course, you know me. I'll always be transparent with y'all. Oh, look what I bought. You feel me? I bought the little Fiji. I was only gonna be in here for an hour, so I ain't even bring the big bottle. But yeah, I bought the hour-long bottle. Tay got the 2-hour bottle. This the 1-hour bottle. You feel me? So yeah, yeah, yeah. This the 1-hour bottle. So mm-hmm. Like now let me stop. But but nah, so evaluate your why, right? Think about it. Are you doing this whenever you go on the computer or your little iPhone, your little iPad, or for my, other individuals, you go on that, what is that, the Android thing, the Samsung, whatever that is. Like you go into one of those devices and you click on, E-Trade, or you even go on TradingView. You click on your little Robinhood. You click on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. You click on these apps. You think when you put that money in that joint and you transfer into that brokerage, it's like, why am I doing this, right? I know exactly why I'm doing this. But for yourself, you got to think about it. Is it your family circumstances? Do you want to improve that? Do you have a terrible, unreliable, and just disheartening career that you're trying to escape from? Do you just want to do it to say, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. I can come to the market and I can pull out money any day. Like you just want that bragging, right? You feel me? Because I know some people thrive off of that. Like if that's your why, that's your why. Do you want a better quality of life? Right? Do you want to use the money to scale your lifestyle and be able to, live how you truly want to? Like how your inner self says you want to live. Or do you just want the extra cash, right? You just want the little extra money, you know what I'm saying? So that way you can do something nice for somebody, right? You want to take care of your wife, you want to take care of your children, you want to take care of your husband, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't know, yourself. I don't know. You know me, I got a dog that just walked out of the room. I want to take care of the dog, right? You feel me? So I mean, I do think, of course I take care of my mother. Like that was another reason why I did this, right? My mom, because she had that surgery and it went wrong, she was malnourished. Her teeth were starting to rot. She was not getting nutrients. Her teeth were starting to rot. When I was living in New Jersey, she called me and she said, like she was barely talking, but she was crying because she was in so much pain because her tooth was rotten. I said, all right, Ma, I'm on my way. So I dropped what I was doing. I was at work in New Jersey. I said, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'll try to be back tomorrow if I can be back tomorrow. My mom needs me. So I got on the road. That's like the beauty of being an engineer. You just go whenever you want to go, unless it's a meeting and it's detrimental, but it's usually not. So I got in the car, drove to Maryland, and I said, Mom, what's going on? And she was just like telling me pain. And so I took it to any dentist. I didn't care. I just took it to any dentist, and she ended up getting a tooth pulled, and they said it was rotten. I was like, oh my gosh. So I made a promise because I still wasn't done with school. I was still in school for engineering, for electrical and computer engineering. I said, I promise when I graduate, I'm gonna get you all new teeth. And that's why I started so many businesses when I was in college. I had an auto repair and customization business. I was washing cars. I was tutoring students. I mentored like 8 engineer students. I was the vice president of the National Society of Black Engineers. I got paid by Intel. They paid my tuition and they paid me to go to certain like events um, for different organizations, right? Uh, excuse me. So all that to say, like I had to do Nesby. Yeah, you know what you know about Nesby. Nesby crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, let me just skip all that, right? So I made that promise to her. This was one of my whys, right? I made that promise to her. And when I made that promise to her, I really meant it. So when I was in college, I don't know how I was doing so well. I think probably working like 6 jobs. I my mom begged me. I had this BMW convertible. I had BMW since I was like 19 or 18. I don't remember. So I had this BMW convertible. I was about to get rid of it. My mom was like, "Oh my gosh, she over dramatic. Oh my gosh, please. I never had a convertible." I said, "Yes, you did. You had a T-top." She said, "It's not the same." I said, "You got a point." So she said, "Can I have your car?" And I was like, I still got payments on it. But I just paid the car for her. I paid the car and I gave it to her. So I said, "Okay, let me buy you this car." So I got her, convertible BMW, right? And then I got her the T. Because my mom is the strongest woman that I know in my life. And I wanted to make sure that I did whatever possible to make sure her life was fantastic. There was a point in time when my mother had breast cancer. My mother was like in the rehab centers because she couldn't walk. Like there's been times I thought my mother was dead. Like I walk into the room, I'm like, Ma. Wouldn't wake up. Like just be like, and I'd be like, oh, that's scary. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, nah, that joke is weird. Yeah, that joke is wild. But so things like that, right? Now I have an older sister. So these are the things you think about in your why, right? And it takes you to a point where you're not thinking about the losses. Your losses are something else. Your losses aren't, oh crap, I just lost all this money. I can't do this again. Your losses are like, nah, son, like that's okay. That's okay. I see my destination, right? I know this is where I'm starting. Like what I said, where's your origin, right? You think about your origin, right? If we go back here, right? Where are you going? Where are you from? Where are you going? You think about your origin, right? Where are you from? But when I trade and I do take those small losses, that's me saying, hey, I still got somewhere to be. There's traffic on the rope. I still got somewhere to be, right? This is all the mindset. This is the mindset of becoming that trader, right? So now let's think about what does your mind need, right? And this is something that I didn't really unlock into later on in life. I started watching other millionaires and I was like, dang, son, that makes sense. So you think about all the things you literally think about, like literally, like what are you thinking about right now? Like you probably have at least 3 different thoughts in your mind. Understand how cluttered your mind is at all times, right? Because it's rare that I'm only thinking about one thing, right? Women always say men only think about one thing. They just always think about sex. You feel me? Like we be thinking about gas money too. You feel me? Sex and gas. You know what I'm saying? It's like let me stop. But anyway, it's like think about all the things that are in your mind, right? It's not just one thing that you think about at a time. But you have to keep your mind strong, right? Keeping your mind strong is done by giving yourself oxygen, giving your brain oxygen, right? And you want to exercise, you want to breathe, you need all of that to literally keep your brain strong. And trading takes a lot of brain power. So I kind of want to talk to you about a few ways to keep your mind on power, like power reserve or power save mode, right? You know how your phone hit 20%. They're like, hey, you want to hit low power mode? You feel me? Like, yeah, give me that. Turn my battery yellow or orange. You feel me? So we're gonna talk about that real quick, right? Just some of the things that I do that help me to change my mind to be more profitable in this market. So first thing is be consistent with a routine, but not just any routine. When you create a routine, you want to give yourself a realistic routine, right? The reason I say a realistic routine because you need something that you can follow on a consistent basis. Excuse me. You don't just want something that you could do for a week or you could do for a month. Me, I was like, dang, like I was talking to Eric Thomas. Dude was like, yeah, I wake up at 3 in the morning. I was like, I wake up at 3 in the morning. Bro, I woke up at 3 in the morning one time. I was like, I'm not doing this every day. Not doing this every day at all. Guaranteed, I ain't doing it. But I said I could wake up at 5 in the morning, right? I had to be realistic with myself. A lot of people can't. Well, I wake up at 4:45. A lot of people can't wake up at 5 or 4:45 in the morning like I can, right? It's not a discipline thing. It's just you just won't do it. Like you won't do it. Like I know my body. I can't wake up if I don't sleep for 4 hours. I don't need 5 hours of sleep. I just need four. My body will not let me wake up if I don't sleep for 4 hours. I know myself. That's me. You feel me? So I create that realistic goal. So okay, if I go to bed by 10, I know for a fact I wake up at 4:45. So I set my whole day up to incorporate just rising and falling with the sun, you feel me, or waking up much earlier than the sun. And you know what I'm saying, going to sleep at a reasonable time. Like I really just transmortify my lifestyle to make that possible. All right, the next thing I do, number 2, black shirt approach. If you ever see me on a regular basis outside of the morning market conversations, outside of, you know what I'm saying, showing up to events, like literally every day, I'm wearing a black shirt. Like I have a drawer full of just black shirts. Like, and then I have another drawer full of packs of unopened black shirts. I have all black pants. The pants that I'm wearing right now are black. Like in my closet, black pants. Everything just about that I wear is black. It's either black or it's white. If it's an old white tee, it's dingy white. You know, it's off white. Let me stop. So that black shirt approach, what that does for my brain is just like the routine. It just tells myself that that's one less thing I got to think about. Like if a woman was to hit me up like, hey, yeah, I've been trying to talk to you for a while. Let me know when you got free time. I would love to take you out because women do ask to take me out. They're nice at times, and even if they ask, sometimes I still pay. You know, man, it ain't that deep. But so I'd be like, cool. They're like, how long will you be? Or what time? I'd be like, I go right now. I just need to hop in the shower, bro. When I get out the shower, I'm putting on black underwear. I lie to you not. I'm putting on black underwear. I'm putting on black socks. Yeah, I've been getting flued out. They be treating me good. But I still end up paying. Ain't that a bad? Oh man, they be confused, man. They be confusing me. But they be trying to treat me well. But I just know they ain't. Hold on, I need to go nap. I just know they ain't all got it like that. You feel me? But I appreciate the effort. So that black shirt approach really helped because I just grab and go, bro. Sometimes, yeah, I gotta iron it. It is what it is. If I don't feel like ironing it, I pull one out the pack and I'll just walk around looking like I'm a box lunch or something like that. Because I got corners on my elbows and corners on my shoulders. a line going across my chest from being folded for 2 years. But anyway, I'm making myself laugh, you know me. But it's easy. Black shirt, black pants, black shoes. Even and if I want to get real fancy, I just throw on the black red bottoms, right? They go crazy over that. The women go crazy over that. They be like, oh my God. What taste? Oh my God. He be killing me. He be killing me with that. I be waiting for that every single class. No cap. Anyway, so black shirt approach. It's just one less thing to worry about. Finally, because this is really gonna get a lot of y'all meal preppers and all that. That's great. I love that you do it, but I don't meal prep. I promise you, I don't meal prep. So next thing that you could do is repeat meals, right? What does that mean? You know, what do you mean by a repeat meal? Me, like I tell the women that ask me if I could cook, I'm like, hell yeah, I cook just about every day. And I do. But I be making the same thing over and over again because I don't want my mind to be cluttered and thinking about what are you gonna eat? Because first of all, I'm indecisive, bro. If you ask me where we're gonna eat at, like I hate that question. I hate that question with a passion. Like, oh, that is like, were you in the mood to eat? I'd be like, food, I guess. I don't know. Like, but when it comes to food, bro, don't ask me where I want to eat. I'll tell you if I don't want to eat there, but I don't know where I want to eat. That's something that I don't care to think about because food is not that important to me. It's important to the fact that I know I need it to like live, but it's just not that important to me, right? But these three things, cutting out, you know what I'm saying, blips in my day, right? That's why you need a consistent routine. When I wake up at 4:45, that's balance. When I wake up at 5, I'm still in balance, right? Sometimes you wake up early, right? This is what people do. I'm talking to somebody here right now, son. I know for a fact you do this. You wake up early one random day out the week, and you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself. You wake up early, and you so like out of control that you still end up late to work because you don't know what to do with yourself. You imbalance, right? So me, yesterday, I had a hard time sleeping. So I woke up at like 2:30 in the morning, right? And I was just on Instagram talking my stuff. Just I don't know, I was bored. And then so I was like, I'm gonna go exercise. So I went on a walk at 3 a.m. And it didn't really throw my day off because I understood how I typically carried my day. It just allowed me to get a head start. Right. So once you have a routine, you know what I'm saying, your mind is already programmed to say, hey, you're awake. As soon as I wake up, this is what I do. I'm about to tell you my whole day schedule. I wake up, I fall to my knees and pray. After I pray, I let the dog out, come back, brush my teeth. Either I go for a run, go for a walk, I go boxing. I do both or all three. It depends on how I feel. And then I go to the gym. After that, I come back. Well, I shower at the gym. I'm back at my house by 7:15, something like that, because I have a meeting at 7:30 to talk about stocks, right? After that, I'm on my work computer as well. I'm doing both. You know what I'm saying? I'm trading, I'm working, hopping in meetings a little bit, do a little recording, man, do that joint, you know what I'm saying? Talk about the stock market for like 60 seconds, post it, tell STB, oh, the video's posted, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm trading still, now it's not the Forex side, now it's the stock side. Handling business with work. Then I'm taking on clients for, finance clients that I have, talking to them. After that, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like market's closing. I stop working because what am I doing there, right? Then I go exercise again. Take another shower, walk the dog again, feed the dog again. And then I feed myself eventually. Or I fast. read, learn something. Then before I know it, 10 o'clock hits, right? There's not too much room for error in that schedule. So even if something pops up, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't know, I'm driving to the gym and God forbid, one of the cars, get a flat tire, whatever. Only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call somebody to pick the car up, or I'm gonna just get it towed back to the house, and I'm gonna just get another car to continue what I'm doing, right? That's why you always gotta have two cars. That's the secret. So yeah, keep your life in balance by keeping things simple. Don't always worry about what you're gonna wear. Don't always worry about what you're gonna eat. Don't always worry about what you're gonna do. Make it second nature to yourself, right? Take some stress off of your mind. And then finally, this is like the biggest impacted I guess point that I have here. The art of failure, right? Let me take a little water before I get into that, honestly. Because I'm just being honest. So anyway, so the best learning experiences comes from failure. Think about when you're back testing like your charts, right? Tay talks about going into the market, going to your charts, testing out these strategies. The only way to, figure out your success rate within a strategy is to find the failure, right? Think about it, bro. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. For real. How do you know how successful a strategy is if it never failed? I'll wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. You see what I'm saying? Failure is a good thing. This is the best time for you to learn. Everybody beats themselves up when they fail. I sent a trade out today in STD, right? I sent a put on Square. I was like, I looked at the chart again. I said, oof. I said, that's not right. I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And then I said, hey, I'm pulling out of this trade because I was wrong. I failed. But if you would have stayed in that trade, instead of losing 3 to 5%, you probably would have lost 40 to 50%, if not 80%. Because that joint did move a little stupid, dumb, crazy, retarded, and we'll get into that right in about 2 minutes. So if you do not find a failure, you'll just be waiting. You'll just be waiting for your well to run dry on the plate without any true understanding of how much sauce you have left in your well, right? That's why I say failure is a good thing. It's a teaching moment. Stop beating yourself up when you fail. When you go in this market and you know that you've only been trading for 1 to 3 years or 6 months to 18 months, excuse me, or less than 5 years, and you take a whole 3 months of L's, yeah, it don't feel good. I know it don't feel good. I've taken like I probably taken, I ain't gonna hold you, like, it was time I was just taking L for like 6 months straight, and I was like, you know what? Somebody lying. I said, somebody lying. I was taking the L's. I was like, bro, somebody lying, because this ain't right. But it happens, right? And that was how I knew my success rate, because once I took that 6 months of L's, it was like for 8 months straight, or 8 to 9 months straight, I was just killing it. Like I was back. I was like, yo, I can't be touched. You feel me? Try to beat me. I wish you would. Like I said, you remember that? You remember when your mom, like when you got a little older, you know what I'm saying? And your parents were still trying to beat you. They was like, I'm gonna beat you. And my mother was, I'm gonna beat you. I'm like, no, you're not. And she said, what? Like my mom, she fights. Like she don't just beat you with a belt. Like we was on our way to church, and she said, you know what? You pissing me off. Since you want to be grown, I'm gonna fight you like you'll be on the street. I said, She said, now put your hands up, mother. I was like, yo, on the way to church, mother crazy. I love her to death though. She a little ghetto, but I need that. I like that. I love that about it. But so yes, those are some things that I kind of wanted to go over with y'all. So, all right. Now let's get into these charts, right? Because I did promise that. All right. First of all, Upstart. All right, let me move some things back around. Let's talk about Upstart real quick, because I did mention I would talk about something in the class. So this used to be my little downtrend that I had for Upstart. It kind of didn't work out no more once it started to consolidate sideways. So this consolidation means that we found somewhat of a floor. A trend is your best friend, and it's like, dang, how could you just transition that quick, like from mindset to actually getting into it? Because first of all, I have a schedule. You feel me? I only got an hour, but I still know the importance of what I got to do here. So what is this? Read that. All right. So we're gonna see this range here. Let me just pull up some stuff. Yeah, that's good enough. All right. So mind you, these points that I'm making, they're just arbitrary points. They do not mean anything. It is just so that I can see limits. I can see where the price action typically stops, and I can see on the bottom side, or on the support side, as well as on the resistance side. This does not mean that the price has to stop there perfect. I literally just pressed, and then the blue line popped up. I pressed here and the blue line popped up. I didn't care where I stopped. I just put it there. So stop being so analytical, understand the price action, and stop trying to be nitpicky with lines on a computer screen. You feel me? Don't do that to yourself. Anyway, so as I'm looking at these limits and I'm seeing, all right, where's the price stopping on both sides? I'm saying, okay, cool. That's how I knew I was in the range, because it's all right. We're not really getting much low. We're not really getting much lower than this area. Still not getting lower than this area. Still not getting lower than this area. That's all right, cool. So we have a range, right? We come back to the top. All right, we're not really getting higher than here. Cool. Still not getting higher than here. Cool. Still not getting higher than here. Definitely not getting higher than here. And still not getting higher than here. But as I was watching Upstart, so basically I was just showing you the range. I'm watching Upstart, right? And I'm seeing, of course, we have gaps. Let me grab this right. So I'm seeing some gaps, right? And I was like, all right, I know exactly what Upstart wants to go. Let's identify some of the gaps that we have. All right, so we got this gap right here. And I'll make it more visible. And let me do that first, actually. You'll probably appreciate me more if I do that. All right, so we have a gap here. I'm just finding them. If I miss one, my bad. You know what I'm saying? All right, there's one right here, but I ain't really too pressed to market. There's one right here too, and one right here too. Guess I'll get through it one time for one time. Since I am identifying some gaps. Mind you, so the way I chart is, like I said, I try to keep my mind in a simplistic mode. I don't want to overpower my brain, right? If it's not needed. The market is closed. I don't have to submit a trade right now. I shouldn't be doing any heavy thinking right now, right? I want to give my mind a chance to relax when it's off the clock. Market closed, I'm off the clock, right? I love my body enough to do that for it. So that's why I like, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, I'm off a little bit on some points. Cool. I'll get that together when I get to it. All right, so now we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, get some price action on these gaps. I want to find some highs and lows in these gaps. Nah, I'll move this one right here, and I'll just take this one out, and I'll move this one back to like that gap right there, because it's pretty much doing the same thing. Why I gotta do all that work? So where do I see Upstart going, right? We do have buyers and sellers in play. Yes, it's a downtrend. You can't ignore the fact that it's a downtrend. Excuse me, I apologize. You can't ignore the fact that it's a downtrend. But at the same time, what I can see is that, hold on, wait, where's my little face at? Do they have that? Oh, maybe it just went away. Anyway, yeah, it probably went away. All right. So with this gap right here, I said, all right, cool. This is our first like stopping point. And sure enough, I noticed that we hesitated around 2040 when the prices were, going stupid, dumb, crazy, retarded after hours. I said, bet. Okay. Then it went to 2140 and went to like 21, like 50 something, right? Or no, it went over $22. But what I'm seeing for Upstart, where it's gonna stop at, Upstart is gonna stop is this gap right here, $32. And it's like, why $32? Why not, what I'm saying, 27 to 26 to 30 to 31? Why 32? I got you. All right. So first of all, when you get to this $32 gap, you do have what is it? You have, where's my little thing? Like that. Of course, you have this gap right here. And you have, most importantly, this gap right here. Why do I like this gap? Excuse me. Because this is the gap that introduced. Yeah, we got a lot of profit for sure. This is the gap that introduced the seller. The seller is not here. This is not a seller. I'm telling you that now, right? That's not the seller, right? And you probably won't know what the seller is until I tell you, unless you're just that nice, you feel me? But that's not the seller. But this gap introduced the seller. That's why you have this wick right here that stops at the support of that gap. Because that's where the seller was introduced. I wasn't even trying to teach y'all all this today, but we're going over it because I told you I would talk to you about Upstart and where it's going. So with that, I'm like, okay, cool. This gap is in the play zone because this is our support. Cool. The next one, the second gap, right? This gap is directly in our line of fire. It is in the heart of this large gap. When I say the heart, I mean it's literally in the middle. So it's literally in the middle of, this large gap that we have, right? It's about a $4 or $5 gap, which is, no, that's a lie. Yeah, it is about a $5 gap, right? And I think that's fan-freaking-tastic. I love it. You know what I'm saying? If mom like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? They used to say it at the barbershop. I think they would just flirt with my mother. My mother had a real big butt. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. She had a real big butt, like when I was growing up. So like, niggas used to flirt with her. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was real zappy as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I knew I couldn't fight him, but I just give him looks like. And then anyway, so same thing here though. Like, it's right in the middle of this gap. So if I was to just, prop arbitrary point in the middle, that would be our support of a gap, right? If it fills the gap, 9 times out of 10, if you notice on the gap fill, it don't always stop at the resistance of the gap, right? Sometimes you get a little wick, sometimes you stop a little bit before. But in this case, it's going to come up here because now it wants to test the sellers that exist right here, right? This is a seller, yes. This one is actually a seller, yes. In my opinion, I would call this one a seller, yes. These ones up here, no, these are not sellers. and we'll get to that in another class. So don't even worry about it. But these are sellers. Yes, this is a seller. So typically what happens is when we have a seller, we want to retest it, especially are trying to be a buyer. You're trying to be a buyer in the market. The only way you can turn to a buyer is to get everybody else to not be sellers. That's the only way you create a buyer is by convincing everybody. And that's why I say it takes a lot of money. And trends just don't change overnight. You just don't have a downtrend and then an uptrend. You'll have, and I'm gonna talk about this as well. You'll have something like you'll have a movement up, that's your uptrend. Then you'll start to have this, right? And you go, oh yeah, it's a downtrend now, right? But it stops here. Comes down, it's like, we stop. Then it starts to go up, come back, stop. Okay, try to go up again, come back, stop. Now what do you have? You have a range. Extend this out a little bit more. You have a range. And from and from that range, then you start to come up a little bit, right? You start not making the same lows that you used to. Yesterday's high are not today's high. So now you're going to go higher. It's to a point where you're thinking, oh, I thought we was in a downtrend, right? Because you over there plotting this. And instead of seeing this, right, where prices came, stopped, and then broke from. So that is very crazy. I know it's saucy right now. I know. If y'all confused, just type 2 if you're a little lost, just so I know. Because I don't want nobody to be, confused with me being complicated. But back to this gap thing though. So from that's how I understand that the prices are gonna come to this gap right here. Yes, we have other gaps that we can fill. Matter of fact, I can show y'all something that'll probably make you very happy if you're a holder. This gap right here, and just to let you know, this isn't even the main gap. Like this is just a little razzle dazzle, you know what I'm saying? Get your feet wet. You feel me? But this isn't even the main gap. However, it's still great profit if you buying it at what? Bought it at $14 like I was doing. But so I think that Upstart will stop at $32, right? That's what I'm begging. Maybe a little bit 31 and some change, but I'm going for 32. If it decides to hold the volume that we had today after hours, look at the after hours volume. You can't ignore that, right? And the giveaway sign was the volume that we had here. This is how I know we're going to that gap fill. This volume out, right? Let me just move this out the way. Move this out the way. All right, there we go. Whew. All right. This is how I know that we're going to this gap fill. Look at this volume, and it's not by itself. Look, it's a cluster. It got a little friend with him. It looked like a man and his girlfriend. They out, you know what I'm saying? Dave and Buster's date. But regardless, the volume isn't alone. It has company. And it has been giving signs, of volume, building up buys. Like I said, I say this in the Money Right conversation so many times. I'm like, hey, low volume pullback. Look at the pullback, right? This was a good amount of pullback. I ain't gonna hold you, but look at the volume. Couldn't even amount to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like this amount of pullback. Mind you, this was our upward move, and our downward move is that's too far. Our downward move is this. Let me just stop in there. All right, our downward move is this. Watch me compare this. Watch this. This is one of my little tricks, and they're not for kids. So we had a further move down than we had up, but we had more volume on the upward move than we ever had on that downward move. There's nobody there. Nobody's trying to keep shorting the stock, bro. It's just not shorting it like that. Ah, man. They're just not shorting it like that. Exactly. You know, I'm trying to get you out of business, you know what I'm saying? First class, I'm coming in hot. You know what I'm saying? Firecracker. Hey, hey, hey. I mean, Tay said he impressed. Let me get a little sip of that, you know, feed. Like I said, Tay, this the 1 hour bottle. You got the little 2 hour bottle of Fiji. This the 1 hour bottle. You feel me? So, man. So, all right. I'm telling you, STB cookout. This how I'm coming. STB cookout. Let me know when y'all throwing down. I'll be on the boat just like this. I might undo one more button, you feel me? Might just undo the whole joint, let that joint fly like I'm Batman or Michael Jackson or something, you feel me? But so that's what I see with Upstart. For the time being, and I'm like, bro, then we got this volume came in. And when this volume came in, I said, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. No lettuce. It's a wrap. You feel me? I saw the green. I said, it's a wrap. No lettuce. So I'm gonna play accordingly. Mind you, I told you what was one of the first things I talked about, and I'm gonna let you respond. One of the first things I talked about, it had something to do with sight when we got into this class. One of the first things I talk about when I mentioned seeing things. I'm gonna see if anybody get it. I'm gonna give it like 15 seconds. Yes, colors. There. Right. Jern. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll be reading too fast. But yes, colors specifically. I don't put red on my charts. You ain't about to set me up with no losses. You feel me? The volume is red. Okay, cool, whatever. That's fine. But my candlesticks, when I'm looking at this, right, nah. I need to see winning colors only. Black, when you see black on a chart, so Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin is to go up $1 right now, and it would turn into a black zero. What does black mean? That means you break even. What you see is what you get. You have to create your own environment. You have to create your own environment in this trading world. And anything that you do, you have to create your own environment, right? The reason being is because you want to always make yourself a winner. Who do you look at? Who do you follow? You follow Tay Sweat because he's a winner. You follow him because the only reason you're an STB because you've seen a man make money. And you see other people make money from him. So look, I ain't gonna lie. That's why I did it. Okay. If he had a Lambo, but he want to help people make money, I probably wouldn't even look at him like that. I'm like, that's cool. Handy business. Live your life. Proud of him. But because he helping people make money, I said, well, maybe I should, sprinkle a little razzle dazzle, pay whatever he charged, and learn something. Because I needed help. You know what I'm saying? I put the prize aside. I said, oof. So man, I've been taking some losses. I need help. So I got the help that I needed. But basically what I'm saying is, indeed. So I'm seeing these volume pops. I'm like, ooh, nobody's selling no more. So that's why when this pop, I'm really not surprised when it popped to like $22. You make your colors purple and blue, that's fine, bro. Do what you gotta do. I ain't hating on you, know what I'm saying? Make your colors whatever colors you want to make them. I do the colors I look at are blue and green because those are profitable colors for me when I'm in different trading accounts. Blue is profitable on the forex side. Green is profitable on the stock side. So yeah, whatever works for you. I ain't judging. You know? But I know red ain't no good. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, crimson and cream are my colors, but I ain't. I ain't gonna look at the stock chart. All right, so let's keep it going. So that's how we got to that $32 area. Try to clean some of this up now. Yuck. All right. Anyway, what else we got? I know we have. It was another stock that was going stupid, crazy, retarded. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, the one that I actually called out on. All right, while that's doing that, what was it called? Square. Yes. Take me to Square. What are you doing? Oh man, I done broke trading view. Oh sugar. Hold on, wait. Let me do.
What's up with you? All right,
Yeah.
you be careful.
What's up with Chris? What's up with Chris? All right. So whatever trading view is doing. That might mean my time is up. But I'm trying to show you Square so that I can go to my there we go. So I can go to what I saw in that chart and why I decided to get out. So when I was looking at Square, right? Oh crap. All right. So I was looking at Square. I was playing this. I mean, zoom in. So I was on the daily. What I was playing was on the daily, right? All right. So I said Square could go to $55. Yeah, it has 56. It has 55 right here. Small gap. Excuse me. Gap leading off into a downtrend after consolidating for a while. After coming down some more, right? You see, you following so far? That yeah, MPay's got a gap. Yeah, PayPal has yeah. All right, we talk about Square right now. You feel me? Now I see why Timmy get mad at y'all and me, because y'all was just talking about what y'all want to talk about. But so yeah, so with this gap right here that I see, let me just mark it. What happened is I didn't pay attention to one thing. I did not pay attention. I saw this, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that with this gap right here, right into this gap, we had so much volume. I don't care about earnings. Forget earnings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you didn't mention earnings for this, but I'm just saying forget earnings. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about that. Because earnings could have came out fantastic numbers, still could have dropped. But it's the fact that what I'm seeing, what I did not see at first was that, okay, we had I saw the volume pop, but I didn't realize we had a large volume pop off of a gap down. And that kind of said something to me because that probably meant that whoever sold this, they ended up buying it right back up. So somebody tried to exchange hands under the table. It's like when you're cheating in spades, you know what I'm saying? Like you reneged, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna call you out on it, especially if you play spades, like you know what I'm saying, black family in the city. Now you're gonna get called out quick. So it's almost like they reneged on their position. That's okay, we're gonna hurry up and dump. Hurried up and dump, got everybody excited, but it was a small institution. They didn't even dump all of their position because it would have took too much time. But they bought it up. Plus, they bought more. But look where it still ended up staying. Watch this. I'm about to blow y'all mind with this. Look where it still ended up staying. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did I do that?" So then that's when I was like, "All right, STB, get out of that." I said, "Get out of that," because basically what happened is after all of that price action happened, it still stayed in this range right here. Yeah, we popped out a little bit. Who cares? It came right back. That's like when your dog run away and you get tired of looking for him. Like my dog, he run away. I don't chase him. Like Because he be like, hold on, wait. That man feeds me lamb and duck. Where am I going? Like, he run around the yard, he run across the street. He comes right back. I don't chase him. Like, I don't feel like it. I run enough. And sure enough, he laying right there on the floor. So he comes back, just like the prices, right? You break out a little bit, okay, cool. Come right back. It's still in consolidation. Nothing changed. So what happened with this trade right here is somebody tried to get it for a better price, and they did. They got it for a better price on the open, and they bought a lot of it. Did they buy enough to send the market through the roof? No. Like I said, small institution probably, small institution, or a large retail buyer, or small institution. Pay attention, right? Pay attention. But this volume is too much to ignore. Plus, it has company, right? It has a family. It's a father, a wife, a child. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff paints a picture, tells a story. But yeah, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna get out. Plus, it made a double bottom right here, right? You know what I love? I saw it a mile away. Like once I saw this gap, I saw it a mile away, right? What is it doing? My favorite. Come on, baby. Come on with it. W pattern. Probably gonna stop right here. Probably come to $64. Maybe come back down if it don't break through. Why? Because we have an opportunity we have a seller candidate in the area, so we got to break above. So, man, come on, hey. But yeah, Dom. Yeah, it gets like that. Hey, real quick, y'all drop a 1 if y'all felt like the class was, you know what I'm saying, somewhat, you know what I'm saying, beneficial or educational. I need to know. I really need to know. What are y'all thinking right now? If it was kind of phony and I just did a lot of talking, you know what I'm saying, drop a 2. If it was like that, you know what I'm saying, drop a 1 for me, right? I care to know. All right, we got some 1s coming in. We dropping. Hey, the 1's coming in. All right, bet. The 1's coming in. Oh, Queen Fee. Oh, not Queen Fee. I got that. I appreciate that. All right, cool. So the 1's coming in. But that's valid. So, there's so much stuff that I see, but but that's why I got us out of the square there. I was like, we're not staying in that. You know what I'm saying? If it could come right back down and go to $55 tomorrow, I would not be mad at me taking, a loss on it. But let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't be mad, because I got slick and I jumped into props. I had some stuff here that I was looking at. So I've been watching this price action right here, this line right here. I've been watching this line literally since about April. Like late March, April, something like that. I lied to you not. Like, and I set an alert on it. When it triggered this alert, I bought it around 114 or some change. Because it alerted and it came back down. So I was like, okay, what did it do? It made a double bottom right here. It made a double bottom, which looks like a double top. It made a double bottom here, made another double bottom, came closer to 200 moving average. I said, okay, I can buy this. Because I understand that Crocs doesn't always hit the 200 moving average. I've been trading Crocs for like 3 years now. I understand that for that. So I said, cool. So I bought that, and now I'm up 20% on this Crocs trade, which cost me significantly more than that Square trade did. So, I mean, at 20%, they feel good. So I'm not mad about that. I didn't call the Crocs trade in the STB group, not because I didn't feel like y'all would be able to catch it fast enough, or that, I was worried that you would lose, but I know I tried to mention Crocs in STB a few times, like, Coach Tay. whatever. And he's like, I don't really trade props like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna steer away from the things that people aren't comfortable with, because I don't want people to be like you did this to me. Like if you lost, like me. So you know what I'm saying. But hey, I like Crocs, and I do think Crocs. Well, I got a 120 call on Crocs. It's like a month or two out. So I got 120 call on Crocs. So far, like I said, 20%. And basically what I'm saying is on Crocs, if you want to play this, I'm gonna just give you a quick game on the stock right here. Of course, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna play these gaps right here, right? Gap go to 120, 121. That's the only reason, not the only reason. I see other things, but I don't want to confuse nobody. So that's why. Plus, people say, "Oh, this is the SNR." No, it's not. No, it's not. Nobody's seeing this. Nobody's seeing this little pause right here. This is a little speed bump in the neighborhood. There's a little speed bump. Nobody's looking at that. It's not a stop sign. It's a speed bump. You feel me? So nobody's looking at that. That joint gonna come right back to this 120, 121 to fill this gap again. Give it some volume in that area. And then ultimately, it's going to go bearish. Why? Because look at this. We know it's going bearish. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to eat. I'm just trying to get a little razzle dazzle. I might take my 20% tomorrow and call it a day. So, but yeah, so that's why I kind of didn't call that. But yeah, just kind of want to give y'all some context. But I appreciate y'all for stepping in here. It means a lot to be able to come on the stage and talk to y'all and give y'all some content, give y'all some information, and also help you to propel through this trading journey. I do pray y'all have a blessed, productive, financially prosperous day. And if it's God's will, hey, I'll let y'all know. All right.
Secure the bag, yeah, that's the brand, and we get to the bag.